Nonprofits like UVM's Rally Cats Cupboard rely on charitable donations of everything from food to clothing to pet supplies to do immeasurable good in their communities. Getting those donations, however, can be difficult for both the organizations and their donors. My guest today decided to fix that problem. Meet the UVM students streamlining charitable donations today on Across the Fence. Hello, Vermont. If you're looking for a way to do good this holiday season, pull out your phone right now and go to giftdrive.org. It's the online platform created by my guests, a couple of young people whose parents should be extremely proud. And I'm hoping by the end of the show, they'll see a spike in donations and maybe even some new gift drives launched. This is how the revolution happens, people. Joining me today are two of the founders of Gift Drive, Logan Vaughn and Corinne Atwell, both UVM juniors studying at the Grossman Business School. And your third founder, Miro Gohacki, couldn't join us today, but I know you're going to talk all about his contributions to the platform. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
I'm super excited to have you here. And I have to say, I've spent a little bit of time with giftdrive.org. It's not an app, right? It's something you do need to go to the website in order to use, right? But still on your phone, it is optimized for phone use. I'm gonna use it a little bit. We're gonna make a donation right here. I promise we're gonna try to get those donations up. We're gonna do a spike today. So tell us a little bit about some of the nonprofits that are on Gift Drive. Are they all over Vermont?
Yeah, right now we have drives running from Bennington to Barrie to all over Vermont. We cover pretty much the whole state, so it's been pretty exciting getting to reach parts of the state that I think maybe don't get much focus on as well, and it's just awesome getting to help as many people as we can.
Yeah, food shelves all over this. And it was something that I noticed even this morning when we were chatting. I grabbed my phone and I was taking a look, and there's new coming on. There were more on than there were yesterday. So how are you getting these relationships with all these different nonprofits?
Yeah, so I'll say it started out as a class, and we started interviewing nonprofits first to kind of get feedback, and actually the entire platform is built off of the nonprofits' feedback. So we have a lot of just existing relationships with the nonprofits that are running drives, but over the last couple of months, we've actually seen a lot of nonprofits getting referred to join the platform, and we've seen a lot of natural growth and people just being interested and having a good experience using the platform, and then telling people about it, and then just seeing random ones pop up, which is an amazing thing.
Well, that's exactly what you were hoping for.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So any nonprofit can organize a drive on Gift Drive. How do they do it? How do they get started?
They just head to giftdrive.org and they can register their organization. They just have to go through a couple simple steps, putting in contact information and shipping addresses, since we ship all the items directly to their door. But from there, they just add items and publish their drive, and it's up to the community and them to share it and make sure that people hear about it and are able to give. And it's pretty simple. We've made it as seamless as possible so that it removes any of those barriers for organizations who don't have the time or resources.
Which is that was one of my questions, because nonprofits sometimes, I mean, there are a lot, it's complicated to accept donations. We were talking a little bit about that. And you wanted to make sure that this was also going to be free for nonprofits to use, right? So it's a free tool?
Completely free. Any nonprofit can use it. It never costs any money at all. And we did that on purpose. Like this is the thing we're giving back, and we don't want there to be any barrier at all for a nonprofit that's in need or helping those in need.
Okay, so let's see how easy this is. I have my phone here, and I lost my cat about a week and a half ago, and so I was looking through here, and something that jumped out at me, there was an organization called PetCore, based in Middlebury, keeping pets with their humans. So I am going to pop into this. Let's take a look. Let's see, ease of use, here we go. Donate now, and there's a whole bunch of different items here. So it's mostly in-kind donations, not necessarily cat. Okay, so in-kind donations, and let's see, I see cat food, great big bag of cat food, putting it in my cart, tap, tap, proceed to payment. I went ahead and saved the information in here too, because I knew I would not be trying to memorize my credit card information on. Tap, 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 address, pre-filled that, complete donation, done. See,
that.
I mean, that is pretty simple, I have to
Yeah.
say. And I think that I love that you have really thought about the user experience
Yeah.
and about what the nonprofits need. So tell me about the difference, like choosing between doing the in-kind donations and cash donations. Was that because it was easy? How did that work out?
I can take that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in the nonprofit world, in-kind donations are kind of like a black hole. There's not really many means to donate in-kind goods, and it's a lot of work for nonprofits to run drives for in-kind goods. They're doing them in person. They have to sort all the donations or go to pick up spots to get them.
Thinking about food drives, where
it's a
you're
lot
bringing
of
cans
work.
to the corner,
Yeah.
things like that. Okay.
And there are some tools out there like Amazon Wishlist, but nonprofits don't like to use them, and they aren't built for nonprofits in mind. So Gift Drive was kind of born out of the idea that, hey, there's a lot of means to raise monetary goods, but also donors like to give in-kind goods. Over 80% of first-time donations are in-kind goods, but the processes to do those for donors are really inconsistent and not good across the board. So we kind of solving two problems at once for nonprofits and the donors.
Okay, and so what about like the retailer relationships then? Did you have to sort those out as well? Because like I didn't know, like where is the cat food that I just purchased coming from to get to Petcore?
Yeah, so we actually have a partnership with a lot of e-commerce retailers. That's what we've been working on the last couple of months. So we can order items that are off of other e-commerce stores and even local stores as well. So we can get them off the big retailers like Amazon, Walmart, but we can also get local items as well. So Shopify stores here in Vermont. Danform Shoes was one that we used for a boot drive for COTS here in Burlington, where they had over $1,000 in donations from Danform Shoes to those in need that COTS serve. So keeping all the money in the community and giving back to those.
That's really great. So you really actually thought all the way through,
Yes,
including the
yes.
business impact on our local stores.
Oh, of
Love
course.
that. So, and then tell us a little bit about how you came up with this idea. You mentioned that it was for a class.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that class.
I mean, that's all you.
I can take that one as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, so this idea kind of came out of a personal experience. 2 years ago, I was trying to give to nonprofits. I was like, this is a really cumbersome experience, and there had to be a better, easier way to do this. Why, I was like, there's got to be an easier way to do this. So I did an entrepreneurship class at UVM. It was Launch Ready Startup, and Felipe Massa was a professor in it. And I happened to sit next to Miro, who's not here today, but is the third of our team.
And you're also a computer science major.
I'm a business major. Miro's computer science.
Computer science, okay.
Yes.
You're not a computer science minor?
Minor.
You're okay.
Computer
okay.
science
Get a minor. I knew
yes.
there was some computer
I have
science in there. Okay.
some experience.
So you and Miro are sitting
Yes.
next to each other.
We happen to sit next to each other in this class, and he's like, I'm looking for a project. I'm like, I have a project. Do you want to help me with this? So we kind of had this idea, but then we started kind of building the idea up, actually making the platform, actually talking to nonprofits to figure out their problems and pain points. And over the last year, we brought on Corinne to the team. We went and pitched at different pitch competitions around the United States, and just building up the idea to something that's actually real and launching it this past month. I mean, we worked the entire last year for this, so it's been really cool to actually see the work come to fruition and see it actually make a real impact for nonprofits.
And Corinne, I know that you have a marketing background, like you're studying marketing, so tell us about what you've been doing. I hear launch, and I'm thinking, okay, so now this is where Corinne comes and adds the secret sauce. So tell us a little bit about getting the word out.
Yeah, so I think that's been something we're focusing on a lot right now, and whether it's things like appearing here today or getting articles written about us. We were in 7 Days recently.
And I know you have merch because
Yes,
she brought a box of merch with
have
us
merch
into
as
the
well,
studio.
yeah.
There's stickers and cute things like
Yeah,
that.
we're
Yes.
just working on making sure we can get our actual name out there. Recently, we tabled at the Common Good Vermont Nonprofit Summit, and we're just trying to connect with the Vermont nonprofits face to face and make sure they know that we're here and we're here to help them. So I think it's been a lot of just media push, building out our brand, and making sure that we're something that people can identify with.
Real world experience.
It really
You're only a
is.
junior, but you're a junior, right? Yes, but I can see that you're gonna, when you hit the circuit, there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be interested in hiring you. So what drew you both to nonprofits?
Yeah, so we actually both were I was in Boy Scouts when I was younger, and Corinne was in Girl Scouts. So we kind of had this natural sense of community and giving back to local communities. And I mean, when I was younger, I actually volunteered at the Wilson Community Food Shelf, which now is actually our most successful drive on the platform. So kind of a full circle moment.
Yeah.
But I would say, I think we both have always been drawn to giving back to our community, helping people, building things to make the world a better place. And I can't speak for Corinne necessarily, but I mean, that's what we talk about a lot. So
I was raised in a very community service focused household, and I think getting this opportunity to do something with a business degree that is real, positive, good change in the world is something that I was really looking for, and it's a really gratifying experience.
Yeah.
And it just makes me feel better about the trajectory of like, the future in the world and everything.
Well,
but
good. And we
I
need
can get on my
stories like that
soapbox.
right now, right? I mean, I think that at this time of year, you know, doing charitable giving, thinking about how you can contribute, thinking about how you can make other people's holiday seasons a little bit brighter. Again, just want me to plug to you, people, I hope that you at home are all on your phones right now, busily making these donations, finding all of the different local organizations that you can support. How are you keeping this going while you are finishing your studies? Because this also just launched recently, and you're 2 full-time students. So how do you also run a big organization like this?
Yeah, so we spend a lot of our time obviously studying and working on our finals.
I should
and
also say that they're in final. No, not finals. This is the last week of classes at UVM. So, okay,
it's
go ahead.
coming up. It's coming up. But we're all dedicated to this project, and it's something that we all want to do. So we make time for it. We work on the weekends after classes whenever we can, and we're committed to continuing that for the rest of our time at UVM.
Yeah.
But I think it's just striking the balance there, but knowing that what we're doing is for a good cause, it makes it easy to make time for.
And is it pretty much just the 3 of you continuing to work? 'Cause now Miro works for Beta Technologies.
Yes. And he actually works for 3 hours before he goes into work at 9 o'clock. So he gets up at like 5 a.m., works for 3 hours on the platform, then goes and works 8 hours at Beta. So
and
we
then
love
weekends,
you, Miro.
and then weekends too.
Yes, and
Yeah.
weekends.
He's
so,
incredible.
Yeah.
That's remarkable. All right. Well, so any final thoughts for folks at home about giving during the holidays, using Gift Drive? What are you hoping for? And what were your hopes? At the end of this broadcast, what do you hope is going to have happened?
I mean, we're just hoping that nonprofits can see Gift Drive as an amazing resource for them to get exactly what they need and make sure that they can provide for their communities and just continue to support those around them, especially during the holiday season. I think it's more important now than ever.
Yeah.
So just hoping that people can learn a little bit more about us from here.
So not just go on and make donations, but also if
Yes.
you are a nonprofit organization who is looking to organize a drive, very easy and accessible. Again, just go on to giftdrive.org if you're so inspired. And so if you want to donate to an existing drive or organize a drive for your organization, go to giftdrive.org right now. The website is listed there on your screen. It's an amazing way to help your community during the holiday season and, of course, all year round. Logan and Corinne, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
I loved having you guys here. As always, Vermont, thank you for learning and exploring with me today. And thanks to the team that makes Across the Fence possible. I'm Amy Finley. This is Across the Fence. Come back and let's learn and explore again tomorrow.